I was at my girlfriend's place, and we had just finished watching movie The Ring. You know, that creepy movie where the girl crawls out of the TV. We laughed about it, but honestly, it kind of got under my skin. That image of her crawling out of the screen kept playing in my head. Later that night, I went back to my place. I got into bed, still thinking about the movie. My heart was beating a little faster than usual, but I eventually fell asleep. Around 1 a.m., I suddenly woke up to a loud sound and bright light. My TV had turned on by itself. And not just that, it was playing The Ring. The exact same creepy scene we had just watched. I screamed like a little kid and ran straight to the bathroom. I locked the door, sat in the dark, and just shook. My heart was racing. I really thought something was coming for me. The weirdest part? I never touched the remote. I didn't set anything to play. It just happened. Same movie, same scene, same time. A few days later, I was still thinking about it, so I searched my girlfriend's house online. That's when I found out a teenage girl had died there about 20 years ago. She committed suicide. I don't know what happened that night, but after learning that, it stopped feeling like just a random glitch. I was home alone after school. Maybe I was 13 years old. My mom was still at work. It was quiet in the house, just me and our old cat, Bobo. She'd been getting worse, but I didn't think it would happen that day. I found her in the hallway, lying on her side, breathing strange, short, sharp gasps. Her eyes were wide open, and she was staring at nothing. I called Mom, panicking, trying to describe what was happening. While I was on the phone, Bobo suddenly started twisting and arching her back in this weird, jerky way. Like something had taken over her body. Her mouth opened like she was trying to scream, but no sound came out. I backed into the corner, crying, too scared to go near her. Her legs kept twitching, and her tail slammed against the floor. Then she just stopped. Everything went still. The house was dead silent. I didn't want to look at her, so I threw a towel over her body and waited for Mom. But here's the worst part. When Mom got home and lifted the towel, Bobo was still alive. Barely breathing. Her eyes were still wide open, locked on something behind me. Mom scooped her up and rushed to the vet. But she didn't make it. She died on the way there. To this day, I still think about that moment. The way her body moved. The way her eyes looked. And that awful silence after it all stopped. It didn't feel natural. It felt wrong. When my friend and I were about 9, we were having a sleepover at my house. My parents had gone out for dinner and left me in the care of my 17-year-old brother. He was tired and went to bed around 8 p.m. Naturally, we were feeling brave and stayed up late. Around 10 p.m., we started hearing a strange noise coming from the distance. It was hard to describe, like a deep, distorted growl mixed with a Wookiee sound, echoing in the middle of the pitch-black Australian outback. The sound would fade and come back, each time closer, louder, clearer. It sent chills down our spines. Eventually, it was so loud it felt like it was right outside the house. We crept to the window and looked out. There, on the terrace, were 2 wolves. Their eyes glowed a piercing, unnatural yellow, locked straight on us. But what truly froze us was how they weren't acting normal. Their heads jerked in strange ways, like they were reacting to something unseen. They growled and whimpered at the empty space around them, as if something else was there, something we couldn't see. One of them let out that same distorted howl we'd been hearing. That's when I knew they weren't just animals. They were reacting to something else. Something not of this world. We turned on every light in the house, locked every door, and waited in silence. I'm sure, whatever was out there, it wasn't just the wolves. It was around 8 p.m., still completely dark out, dead of winter. I was walking alone to my bus stop like I always did. The whole street was silent, not a single car or person in sight. Every house I passed had a few lights on, glowing softly through the windows, all except one. This one house was completely dark. No porch light, no flicker from a TV, nothing. It looked hollow. I passed by it quickly, trying not to stare. But some weird feeling made me stop. I don't know why, but I turned around to look. And that's when I saw it. Floating about a foot off the ground, just in front of that dark house, was a figure in a long white robe. A human shape, but not quite right. No eyes. No mouth. Just a blank, pale face. And it was staring straight at me. I froze. Couldn't move. Couldn't even scream. My breath felt stuck in my chest. The figure didn't move. It just hovered there, dead silent, like it was waiting. After a few seconds, it started to fade, slowly, like smoke in the air, and then it was gone. I stood there shaking, heart pounding, eyes still locked on the empty spot where it had been. And the worst part? My bus was late. I had to stand there, completely alone, for 10 more minutes, right next to that house. I don't walk past that place anymore. Even now, it still gives me chills. I was lying on the couch at about 1 a.m. with my girlfriend, watching the movie The Village. Mildly scary movie for those who haven't seen it. We have just gotten past a jump scare scene, when I see in my peripheral vision a flashlight outside turn on, then immediately off, followed by the sound of our back door shutting. I look at my girlfriend and she nods to say she heard it too. Okay, time to soil my pants. I get up slowly, sneak to the doorway, and poke my head into the kitchen where our back door is. The only light in the kitchen is from the TV in the lounge, so I couldn't really see anything. I hunch down and creep into the kitchen, around the fridge to the left, and immediately stop and frozen. All I can see is the silhouette of a tall and thin human figure, with its back towards me, facing the corner behind the dining table. It's totally still, not making a sound. What the hell am I supposed to do? I reckon I was frozen there for a whole minute, just staring at the figure. Eventually I look back at the doorway to the lounge, to see if my girlfriend has come into the kitchen, but she must have stayed on the couch. When I turn back to the figure, it's still there but has turned around and is facing me now. I can see the silhouette and it's too dim. Unblinking eyes. I scream and run into the lounge room, grab my girlfriend by the arm, and pull her into my bedroom. I've never moved so quickly in my life. We lock the door and jump behind the bed. I'm hyperventilating while my girlfriend is loudly asking me what the hell's going on. I keep telling her to keep quiet, and finally she does. We just sat there listening for any sounds of movement for maybe 10 minutes. I pulled out my cell and called 911. Once I had calmed down, saying that we had a break-in and I wasn't sure if he was armed. 5 minutes later there's a knock on our front door, which is luckily across the corridor from my bedroom door. So I quickly dash out of my bedroom and out the front door hand in hand with my girlfriend. And there's nobody outside. We look around a bit and call out, expecting the cops to come around the corner or something. But there's just nothing. I lose my nerve, run back inside and into my bedroom again. An hour later the cops showed up and shouted out to us from the front door since we weren't opening it. Searched our house and found nothing. To this day I have no idea what the heck happened that night. I was babysitting at a house that was way out in the middle of nowhere. Right away, it felt scary. The house was quiet, dark outside, and far from everything. The baby was asleep in his room upstairs. I was downstairs watching TV, just waiting for the parents to get home. It was around 10 p.m. Suddenly, I heard a loud, terrifying noise. It sounded like a group of demons laughing. The sound was high-pitched, fast, and filled the air. It wasn't just one voice, it was many, all at once. It sounded like wild evil and close to the house. My body was froze. I was scared out of my mind. I sat there not moving, my heart racing. I didn't know what to do. It didn't sound like anything I had heard before. It wasn't people. It didn't sound like any animal I knew. For a few minutes, I truly thought something was outside, something not human. Then it hit me. I remembered I was in the mountains. In Arizona. That's when I realized it was coyotes. A whole pack of them. I had never heard a group of coyotes before. I had only heard single howls in movies, the kind that sound lonely or sad. But when they're in a group, they don't howl like that. They make this crazy, loud, laughing sound that really does sound like demons. It scared the hell out of me. I'll never forget how real that fear felt, all because of a bunch of wild coyotes.